Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Kerbal Space program on PS5. I am your host for this edition. I am Apollo, a very frustrated Apollo, a very discouraged Apollo, but I cannot let this game beat me. If I give up, the game wins. And we just can't have that. So, here we are again. We're making slow progress with this project. And I think I understand what the issue is. I'm just not 100% sure how to solve it. Because I think the problem we're having is that our dry weight is too far to the rear. So as we run out of fuel, we lose our forward and aft balance, I think is the proper term. So we removed a couple of the invisible gamer. Dude, yep, I'm trying my hand at space planes. How you doing today, Bubs? She flies. We may have solved all of our problems. Getting through, that's life for you, buddy. Doing some laundry. Yeah, I really need to put all of our laundry away. I just don't really wanna. You know how I hate putting laundry away. It's funny because I'm okay doing dishes. I'm okay doing laundry. I just hate putting the shit away. If I had someone at the house that would put it away for me, I wouldn't have any problem doing any of my chores at all. 100% okay with all of it. I'll vacuum. I'll clean. I just don't like putting stuff away for some reason. Yeah, see, she flies really nice. The next problem we have to solve is cleaning up our separation. Yeah, that's my problem with it too, kid. I'm sitting there like, what's the point in putting all this shit away when I'm gonna wear it tomorrow? Well, I mean, not all of it, but because like if I wear my nice clothes, I'll do the laundry and put those away because the chances of me wearing those again in the near future are pretty slim. But like, I gotta get dressed tomorrow. I gotta go to work on Wednesday. So what's the point in hanging everything up? So the problem we've been having is that she likes to tip over backwards. So I'm hoping by moving the BlackStar forward on the carrier, the weight of the BlackStar will push the nose down and it'll help maintain stability. That's the hopes, anyway. See if this helps at all, too. But you see how the nose is rising? It's a rising! See if maybe powering it up a little bit helps. A little bit more throttle. Once taxes come in, the decoder is getting back on the road. Fuck yeah, bro. Just do yourself a favor and give it a really thorough going over. Check all your rubber, your hoses. Double check your fuel tank. Double check your tires. Give your brakes a good looking at. Remember, she's been sitting for about a year, so a little under a year, but make sure you do your due diligence. Save yourself a little bit of headache later. Remember, I mean, your safety is your responsibility when you're on the road, kid. We're doing a hell of a lot better now. We're not. She's trying to tip over backwards, but it's a nice gentle. It's a nice gentle tip, so I'm able to manage it. Now the question is how bad is that going to screw me over once we separate? Because now, the farther up in the atmosphere we're going, the more she's trying to throw back. Hell yeah, dude. I'm proud of you, kiddo. Get you on the road. Get you your, I would say freedom, but it's not quite freedom just yet. Once you start working again, then you'll be set to go, because then you can get your gas, keep your fuel tank, keep all your fluids good, and then start saving up for something a little bit bigger, a little bit better. Come on, baby. Don't do this to me. There we go. Come on. Be July, I'll be fully licensed. Yeah, I'm proud of you, kiddo. I want to burn up this fuel before we separate, but we're losing altitude and control really fast. Well, there's the control. Come on. Mission failure. So close to being able to do this. All right. We got to come up with some way to control the separation. I mean, we could try moving it back even more. Let's see what that does in terms of control. What else could we even do? I'm almost thinking we need to trade out. Let's try something. Let's get a little wacky with it. Let's put a nuclear engine on. That looks cool. Do I have a remote guidance unit? I do not. Would it be under here? Oops. Wrong one. Yeah, I'm proud of you, kiddo. I'm so proud of you. Can't even express it. My little man's all grown up. Alright, why? Thank you. You know what? Maybe if I stick it here. Oops. That's fine. Then we can do that. Do that. Hide those in there. Alright. Whoops. Let's see what she does. Back going somewhat straight. Let's see if we fixed all of our problems. The funny part is at this point, I'm not confident that this thing will work as an Eve Ascent vehicle. I'm not confident in that at all. Lukey! I think we fixed all the issues. So, we fixed the wobbling issue by adding struts, which fixed that problem 100%. And then we've moved the BlackStar as far forward as we possibly can to try. Because I think the issue we're having with the tip over is related to the dry weight. So right now, all the weight is forward of the center of balance because it's full of fuel. As the fuel burns out, all the weight is on the engines. So once the fuel drains out, this whole thing, the center of balance shifts all the way back, which causes the rear end to want to drop, and the aerodynamics of the front end causes the front end to want to lift. So I think we may have gotten that sorted out. But now the problem comes in with separation stage. Because as soon as we separate, all the front weight is gone. So the front end throws itself backwards, which throws the BlackStar into a spin, which so far we have not been able to recover from. So we put in a probe core at the tip, and I'm hoping that the probe core will keep it steady and long enough for us to separate and gather some distance. We also switched out the center engine on the BlackStar with a Nerve atomic engine. So we're going to see how that goes. Yeah, see, she's still trying really hard to tip backwards. The only thing else I can think of is maybe cutting the aerodynamics down up here, like maybe removing these panels and just having it come straight in here. Maybe removing some of the lift from the front would help the cause. But as of right now, she does the lower atmosphere really well. She's stable. I'm not doing any input right now. I might lower that thrust a little. But other than that, she rides just like this. And you can see that angle of attack is slowly trying to push up as we use fuel. No, it wouldn't do any damage. What I would highly recommend is talk to Uncle Jay, but ask him about using an octane booster or dry gas. If you... I'm not sure that Seafoam would do what you need it to do, but that's a good question for either Gampa or Uncle James. Because if you put in some dry gas or some octane booster and then fill the tank up. So the important part to remember is if you're going to do this, you put your additives in on a low level of fuel. So like let's say you have 1/8 of a tank right now. You put your additive in, and then you fill it up with fuel to at least 3/4 of a tank, so you dilute that additive all the way down. And it might be beneficial to use premium if you do it, but I don't think it's required. But if you do that, then you should be good to go. Seafoam may do what you want it to do, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the only other alternative you would have is to siphon out, basically drop your fuel tank and empty it manually. It sounds really stupid, but normally the fuel tanks drop off during launch. Could you put disposable thrusters on the front that detach? Yeah, that's always an option. I was just hoping that this would I was hoping that when we detached, the lower stage would just stay on its arch. You know what I mean? The parabolic arc that it's on. It just hasn't really worked out that way. Because as soon as we detach, the front of the carrier, it goes straight up into a backflip, which throws the BlackStar into an uncontrollable spin. I was really hoping we could get high enough into the atmosphere where gravity would be low enough to where we could detach safely and just go on our merry way. And see, now we're falling. Come on, baby. Hello, bub. Oh, come on, girl. Get that nose up. Come on. Come on, girl. You can do it. Yes. Come on. Come on. Just need above the horizon. She's not stable like this. Come on, we got to get a 10-degree climb. Come on. Stabilize and pull up. We want a 10-degree climb, girl. Come on, Lucille. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, she's stabilizing. We're getting above the atmosphere. She's stabilizing. By George, I think we got it. Let's not count our chickens until they hatch. We should have plenty of electricity. Yeah, we do. All right. I'm pretty sure this has alternators on it. Yeah, it does. So electricity shouldn't be a problem. Let's bring the nose down and start gathering some velocity. Now the big problem is we all that effort and we don't have a whole lot more of delta V than we did with just using the black star by itself. I'm pretty sure our numbers are going to be pretty much the same as just taking off normally without the booster. So I mean, is all the effort really even worth it? That's the question is if none of this is even worth the effort, then we're kind of wasting our time trying. Now, the other thing we can try to do is just make the lower boosters a hell of a lot bigger, like use the bigger fuel tanks altogether. Yeah, because we're not going to get orbit. So, what we're going to do, see where we're at on the map. Yeah, it's pretty much the same result as just launching it dry. We almost got to see the eclipse again. Our, I didn't realize we brought Bill on this adventure. No, there's no runway on the Mun station. It's only a launch pad. Because the plan was to get the booster and the BlackStar flying. So what I've been thinking is that we don't have any way to test anything on Eve to see if it'll work or not. So the way I've been thinking about it is if I can get it to work on Kerbin, then it would be worth taking it to Eve for a test run. Because if it doesn't work on Kerbin, it's not going to work on Eve at all. But if it works on Kerbin, then there's a good chance it'll work on Eve. The atmosphere on Eve is equal to Kerbin's atmosphere at about 15 kilometers. So below 15 kilometers, the atmosphere is a whole lot thicker and more pressure and more dense. But above 15 kilometers, it's largely the same. Equal. So at 15 kilometers on Eve, it is equal to sea level at Kerbin. So below that 15K mark, the atmosphere generates more drag, but more lift as well. So if we can get the lower stage operational, then we should technically be able to get up to about 30 to 40 kilometers on Eve. And then after that, it's just a matter of numbers, trying to get the right amount of delta V to get into an Eve orbit. Oh, Taz, you scamp. So where's our everybody here wants to know, Taz, where's our Alien Isolation episodes? We're all waiting. Everybody here's waiting for it. Tuesday, I'll gladly pay you today for an Alien or I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for an Alien Isolation episode today. Gotta edit still. You and your silly editing. But I'm really confident that if we can get everything working, the BlackStar, I mean, she's capable of entering Atmo. And if I don't screw things up, she slows down just fine now with air brakes. So we don't have to worry about exploding. I wouldn't mind if she was a little bit more flight stable, but some of this problem comes with having a controller. It is really hard to do precise movements with a joystick. Giggity. Recording ran over an hour during the intense part, so I didn't want the episode to end there. That's fair. You don't want to end during the good part unless you're trying to build suspense. How cruel would that be? All right, guys, that's the aliens chasing me. Oh my God. Okay, find out what happens on the next episode of Alien Isolation. Thanks for joining us. All right, how far did we get from the KSC? Whoops, wrong button. Where are we? I mean, we made it halfway around the world. No, why? I don't understand the controls. After 300 hours, it still baffles me that I gotta hold L1 to have regular control. To be continued. See, Luke gets it. Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Oh, Taz, you got to check out a game that got released yesterday. It's a different kind of survival game. It's called Cairn. Cairn. It's a mountain climbing survival game. I don't think it's multiplayer, though. I think it's a solo game. But I think you like survival games as much as I do. But yeah, if you guys notice, like with the joystick, it always wants to tilt left and right. It's like all I want you to do is nose up. It would be a lot more helpful if they switched some of the controls to the right joystick, really. Because then you could do multiple controls at the same time. I just want to get level flight. Come on. Just give me a level flight. No, stop nosing down, you jackwagon. Because the only other option I have to change this, wait, oh, okay, is I can do this, which changes the roll with the yaw. But then you get a similar problem because now instead of tilting left and right, every time I try to do joystick input, if it's not 100% down the center of the joystick, it activates the yaw function. Karn looks amazing. Dude, I'm gonna save my pennies for it. I want to play it. Alright, let's just let her stabilize. Would turning the center into a V-tail help? I don't think so. Honestly, Luke. I don't think that would do a whole lot. The only thing I was thinking is maybe if I disable the roll on these and make these just for pitch. Oh wait, it does it automatically. And then disabling the pitch on... Oh shit, we're gaining too much speed. Come on. Because I think, in my opinion, it's simply an input issue. So let's disable the pitch on these. So now these are just for roll. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. And these are just for pitch. But you can see, really hard to do the joystick controls, because if you don't go directly down the center of the joystick, it activates the secondary function. Because if you notice, when I'm not doing any input, she flies exactly perfectly level, or not level, but along her flight path. It would be nice if there was a way, because I know if you have McJeb, you can click a button and it just maintains level flight. It would be really awesome if that was in the base game. Just along the SAS controls down to the left there, just click a button that's just level flight. That's all I need. Because even if I wanted to land right now, landing in these mountains would be akin to suicide. Considering you're flying a multi-billion-dollar shuttle with a controller, I'd like to see NASA try it. Dude, the military has been changing the controls to a lot of their vehicles to the controllers because it's easier to use. I know I was reading an article, it was a while ago now, probably about 3 years ago, that they changed the controls on one of their nuclear submarines to an Xbox controller. But yeah, if you get the sensitivity right on the controllers and the button layout, way easier. But just like one of the things that a lot of the space agencies are doing nowadays, that I'm like, is that such a good idea? Is that a lot of the spacecrafts are all touchscreen. And I'm like, I'm not 100% sold that that's a great idea. I mean, the automotive industry in the United States is already facing new data. Oh yeah. The next thing we need to do is we need to take the LTS satellites and redesign them a little bit to get them nuclear powered, and then put them into orbit between the sun and that'll increase our revenue quite a bit. The tech tree isn't so bad. We're super close to unlocking it. I think once we get the science back from the God's Eye station, we should be able to unlock 2 or 3 new things. But yeah, you see how hard just level flight is. It's the controller scheme. It's not the plane. The plane is flying really well. The only thing that I could probably do to help out the cause is maybe put some forward ailerons on. Yeah, I'm not sure what else we could do. There's a part of me that wants to believe that it's just a matter of figuring it out. It just gets really frustrating when I see better creators than they do crazy things with their planes and their stations. Like, I watch Matt Lown launch like entire damn what do you call it? What word am I thinking of here? Entire colonies in one launch. And I'm struggling to do just a basic lander. Like, this man can fucking launch 100,000-ton equipment without even blinking, like he's not even trying. Struggling to launch towards him. And just for the BlackStar, the base BlackStar, I think if we put small forward ailerons near the cockpit. My mic is messed up? Oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this without changing the game. Do. All right. Did that change anything? Is that better? For some reason, my damn PlayStation 5 keeps changing my microphone to the controller. I hate it. I hate it. I don't understand why they decided to put speakers and microphones in the controller. I think it's a stupid mechanic. I understand what they were trying to do, because they wanted to cater to people who don't have headsets and microphones. But at a certain point, it's like, dude, just get a damn headset. You can go get a headset for $20 damn. If you can afford a $600, $700, $800 game system, just spend the extra few bucks and get a microphone. Yeah, the water landing did not go well. But I also botched it. I hit the water at 55 meters per second. But you know what we can do is we can try it again.
Yes, we can float, but the trick is to not hit the water at 190 miles an hour. But in my defense, during that landing, the pilot survived. The cockpit was 100% okay. The rest of the plane, not so much. Oh, he's stranded deep for sure. You know, if any modder ever wanted to make something pretty cool, a Kerbal survival game would be fire. I can't. If I take my hands off the controls, we'll nosedive. We shouldn't need the air brakes yet. If I was really smart, I would have action group, do a custom action group for the brakes. That way I could get them without taking my hands all the way off the controls. Because in order to do the brakes, we'd have to come up here and tap this. Which, now that I have it situated where I want it, isn't that bad of a... But now we're in a complete stall. Let's get a little bit of speed and pull up. Pull up. Terrain, pull up. Terrain, pull up. Terrain, pull up. Whoop, 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 whoop. Terrain, pull up. Let's bleed off more of that speed. Okay, nose down a little. Terrain, pull up. Whoops, come on, come on. I just wanted to hit it real quick. And that's the story about how I got children. Yep. That's pretty much what happened last time. That's almost exact. Actually, more of the plane survived. All right. Let's spin. Sad trombone. I mean, it's not anyone that you survive. Let's try and see what this does. Yaw. Get rid of the roll function as an emergency procedure. Yeah, no. 100%. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Now, I noticed this needs to go like that. All right. Now, I had a question. I don't want the fuel tank, I want the dang... Alright, so yeah, we can't do anything with those. Now, my question is, what if we get rid of these? And then move this back here. I'm wondering if that would do anything. We could also try and get rid of another couple of these. That might help. That helped a lot. You know what? Let's get rid of one more set. Because that did help quite a bit. Now, the only other thing that I was debating is what if we got rid of... Hold on. Let's not screw up what we know sort of works. What if we did this? Get rid of that. And put... Is that the same size? I don't think so. I think these are bigger. No, why? Why? Why would I want fuel tanks there? Stupid game. All right. Let's choose an engine. The mainsail does really well. But I might try the Kodiak on this one because we have plenty of thrust. As it stands, just this right here as it sits, I mean, we'd have to do some aerodynamic things, but as it sits, it could fly. So we don't need more thrust. What would that do? Are you allowed a dorsal engine? The problem is if we put a dorsal engine on, oh, the dorsal engine might be viable. Hold on. Let's do this, and then how would we attach it? A fourth engine on the roof of the carrier? Yeah, I see what you're getting at. Let's... How to attach this? We could go to coupling. I really wouldn't mind changing some of these tanks out for the slightly bigger ones. But I really don't want to have to rebuild the whole rear end. What if we do this? Let's just see what it would look like. And then put this on. And then Vector is 936. The mainsail gives more than the Vector. The Vector's 4 tons. Let's... Oh yeah, no, the Vector's tiny. The Vector's tiny. I don't know if I like it. I'll just do another mainsail. And then go back to fuel tanks. Nope, that's not the right one. Come on. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me? When I show you nothing but love. I don't like how we don't have an adapter for that. There we go. And then... Does this one fit? There we go. Alright, and then maybe aerodynamic. Like that. Now the question is, do we have to add a fuel line? Or can we do that? I'm going to add some manual struts in here too, because if you guys were hanging around yesterday, you'll know that if we don't do a manual strut, she will wobble, wibbly, wobbly, wobble, wobble. Wobble, lobble, dung, dung. Alright. Now for the aerodynamics on the front. Yeah, if it doesn't wobble, are you even KSPing? But the good thing is most wobble, you can... Aww. And... Alright, alright. I forgot. So now is this side strutted or not? Yeah, alright. Alright. Most wobble, if you get the struts and just bloop, that should fix a lot of wobble. And then just for the sake of sakes, alright, let's see what she does. Oh, I love this chair. But I gotta stop sitting in the same spot so long. Alright. Oh, I never put landing gear. I forgot the landing gear. I saw that, Luke. Silly, I was excited to try it, that's all. Yep, I saw it. I got too excited. Is this it? No. Wait, where is it? One of the trucks drove underneath? Yeah, I didn't notice it at all. Just like, probably be a good idea to do this too. Because I never even put wings on it. Whoops. Disable. Disable. So, my USB so slow. USB shouldn't be that slow unless you're doing super large stuff. If you're doing super duper large files, it might get a little slow, but it shouldn't be that bad. I like that one better. And then no, try this one. No. Whoops. This one? Yeah. Yeah. I don't like how it just... What if we... Where's the tiny one? No. No. Yes. So, get rid of you and put you down here. Come on. There. I like it better. No. No. I never remember which ones I used, damn it. No. Yes. And then... No. Yes. No. Yes. Boop 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 boo. I want the really long one though. Come on. Just go to your home. Are you too good for your home? Yaw. Yaw. Alright. Oh wait, we gotta... It's way easier to do it this way. It's way easier. If you guys ever end up playing KSP on console with a controller, not that I recommend it, if you have an option to play a different way, 100% recommend taking the other way. But playing on controller is arguably the hardest way to play. So if you have a different option, 100% recommended that you take the other option. Okay. I think we got a prototype. I just hate looking at the numbers. I like the green lines. Okay. Double check. And you know what? It might be a good idea to do this. All right. Let's try her out. Yeah, Bubs, are you doing something super large, like massive file transfers? Because it gets slow then. But typically USB is the fastest you can get because it's a direct transfer. Always check your staging. What is this? Oh. Let's just move this up here so we don't accidentally stage it. All right. This is such an abomination. I love it. That might have been my bad. Installing a game, got it. All right, that was my bad. I could have just went full throttle from the beginning, but with the rockets, you have to be super careful because you'll get too fast. All right, let's redo this staging again. All right, that goes there. That goes there. This can go up here because it's not going to matter. KKK. Okay, let's try it one more again. %80 throttle. Well, we have stable flight. Om Name. Boop 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 boop. Inspector Gadget. Yeah, terrifying. Definitely a little spooky. But, like you said, more stable than it was before. Now the question is can we get a clean separation this time? The only other thing I can think of doing for the separation portion is maybe sticking a decoupler or a stack decoupler right here, right behind the radial decoupler. So that way we could decouple the stack and let that fall back, and then decouple the nose separately. It might be worth looking into for that one, because then we could decouple, let the majority of the carrier portion fall back, and then decouple the rest when we're safe. But again, looking at the numbers, we're not getting a whole lot higher in the atmosphere before we need to rely on the BlackStar's engine. So, in all reality, is this even helping? Because the whole idea was supposed to be this stage right here was supposed to get us, you know, up to 30, 40, 50 kilometers before we have to ignite the BlackStar. And we're barely hitting 20. So it's only given us half as much as we really were hoping to get. I mean, it's still better than launching the BlackStar from the ground, but from the ground, the BlackStar was super superior. You know what we could explore is switching out these engines with jet engines, air breathers. But even then, yeah, you can. It's just a waste of fuel when you're in the atmosphere. The nuclear engine inside of an atmosphere produces, what is it, like 0.2, I can't remember. The thrust to weight ratio, the thrust to weight ratio on the nuclear engines is rock bottom, but the efficiency is super high. But when you're inside of an atmosphere, it cancels each other out. You're not getting enough thrust to override the atmospheric drag. So if we can get above the atmosphere, then the nuclear engine is going to be spectacular. The problem with that, Luke, is a dorsal engine on the BlackStar adds weight. So we might get more initial thrust, but we're going to eat the fuel faster, carrying the extra weight of the engine. I mean, we're doing really well. We might hit 30 to 40 kilometers before this becomes useless. Maybe. Because we're about to fall below the horizon. If that yellow circle falls below the horizon, we are no longer effective at flying. We are falling. That was the cleanest detachment we've had so far. Yeah, there is a vertical speed gauge. On my monitor, though, it's really hard for me to see that. All right. Now, can I... Hold on. There we go. Save a little bit of fuel. So that run saved us a ton of fuel. So that was actually worth it on that one. I don't think we quite have enough to escape Eve, but I feel like we're on the right track. All right, now let's lock to prograde. Our apoapsis should not fall below 80K. Well, Luke, the thing is as far as an Eve mission goes, I think we're on the right track. Like the results are promising. So if we can adapt the lower stage, maybe with inflatable heat shields, and maybe making the center the bigger tanks that we put on the radial. And then the possibility also exists that we add in some asparagus staging as well, because we have nearly 2,000 meters per second of delta V in vacuum, which if we can get the BlackStar to about 70K in Eve, if we can get between 60 and 70K, I think we could make orbit. If we can make orbit, and if we get a stable Eve orbit and run out of fuel, we can always send a tow vehicle or a transfer vehicle or something to come and pick it up. The big problem we're having is we have to get out of the atmosphere before that's an option. So, where are we? We're there. So I think if we do... What? No. So if we do this and just give it a tap, tap, taparoo, well, way more of a taparoo than that. That's too much of a taparoo. A little bit more of a taparoo. Well, no, 78's fine. We can even go a little bit lower. To 70. Well, let's do 71. And we're only going to use 55 meters per second out of our total delta V. And once we re-enter the atmosphere, this number will double when we switch to air breathing mode. Our electric charge is good. Monopropellant we could get rid of because the blah 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 blah. What am I thinking of? What word is that? The RCS system is controlled by the Veneer engine, which is a liquid fuel engine. So we could get rid of the Veneer engines and put in RCS blocks. Or we could get rid of the monopropellant and just rely on the Veneer engines. Both are valid options at this point. But this makes me hopeful because, again, if this works on Kerbin, it should theoretically work better on Eve. Now, the only factor we have to consider is getting it onto the surface of Eve safely. So now, the next testing phase that we need to do is, first, I'm thinking about putting on bigger fuel tanks, or should we think about asparagus staging? Or the other thing is we could use drop fuel tanks. We could just throw fuel tanks on the bottom of the carrier stage and drop them away as they get used up. That's also a valid option because we have plenty of thrust. We have plenty of lift. So we could start... Yes, it is much more stable, much better. But that's the thing about KSP, is it's all about testing and retesting again. Let's time warp to this maneuver. So we have a 32-second burn, so we're going to burn at about 16 seconds. Alright, preparing for burn. And burn. But Luke, that nuclear engine in the middle was a really good idea. Because those two radial engines are more than capable of carrying fixed-wing flight in the atmosphere, in the lower atmosphere. They're more than capable. Alright, we have achieved a stable orbit. Oop, this button. Get out of here. And then... Now the next challenge that I've never done before is, can we land at the KSC safely? She would want a hybrid. Well, technically she is a hybrid. She does have the Rapier engine, which is a hybrid engine. It's an air breather as well as oxidizer. Are we gonna... Is this the eclipse that we keep seeing? Yep. The eclipse is going to happen again. It's because I keep reverting. Actually, we should probably just hit retrograde. And I mean, if you really want to get technical, the entire BlackStar system utilizes jet engines, nuclear engines, and rocket engines. So it's kind of a tribrid. Don't judge me. It was a crazy weekend in Tijuana. Alright, let's see. I want the KSC to be in sunlight for this. Because trying to land on that runway in the dark, let me tell you what. With just under 2,000 meters per second of delta V remaining, which complete mission success. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and grab a new drink, and then we're gonna land this puppy. Attempt to land this puppy on the runway. On the runway. All right. Let's get this bad boy. Damn it. I need a wireless headset. I prefer wired headsets, but the wire gets pretty annoying. Okay. Now, this is another thing that I'm not super good at yet, is judging the orbital path to the ground. So I think what we need to do is go to the opposite side of the planet. Like right in here somewhere, maybe. Like right in here somewhere, maybe. Let the BlackStar realign to retrograde. My disk usage is at OBPS. Excuse me. It really bugs me. Can you make the engine triangles in the middle bigger to meet the engines up at the solar panels? I think we can. We can try it. I'm just worried about how it affects the handling of the plane, because she's doing so good right now. I'd really hate to mess her up. We can try it, Luke. Alright. The KSC is here. I'm really bad at this. I guess I'd rather come in a little bit sooner, because we could fly the rest of the way there. But I don't want to come in so soon that we run out of fuel on the way there. Yes, we have 1, 2... Oh! You know what? I don't think we put on the radial flight stabilizers when we put the new engine or the new fuel tanks on. I don't think we actually did that, but it does have 3 stabilizers in the rear and 2 in the front on the center engine buoy. Okay. Alright. If the small triangles work, could you add them to the carrier? What do you? I don't. Let's get back to the VAB, and then I'll see what you're talking about. Because I'm having a hard time picturing in my head where you're talking about adding them. Alright, now, one of the things I want to do while we're descending is um let's do custom action group 5. Toggle engine. Toggle engine. Yes. All right. So that does both engines then? Yeah. I'm hoping that does both engines. So we got to remember custom action group 6 switches our jet engines from air breathing mode to oxidizer mode and back again. Custom action group 5 switches the engines. It shuts the nuclear engine down and activates our jet engines. So we gotta remember that. I'm gonna forget that at least once. Alright. Showtime. I'm pretty sure we're gonna overshoot the KSC. And this descent path is really dangerous. Recklessly dangerous, actually. In fact, write down a flight procedure. It's not the worst idea I've ever heard, actually. It's actually a really smart idea. But this is where a mouse and keyboard would be super helpful, because you don't have to activate radial menus. You don't have to take your hands away from where they need to be to do little things like activating the brake group. I'm pretty sure is like shift, backspace. Like everything is right there on the keyboard at the push of a button. You don't have to push the joystick down and move the cursor around and click on this button up here. Everything's hotkeyed. And this flight path is dangerous. I cannot exaggerate that enough. Like, we are coming in at the way wrong angle. I was just really hoping we could hit the KSC on the first pass and not have to turn around. But I don't think that's going to be a thing. Hey! Look at that. That was one of our landing spots on our previous runs. Alright, hold on. Oh, one of the things I do want to do is do that. Then try to up angle just a tiny bit. Increase our drag a small amount. Let's do a 10-degree up bubble. I guess in this terms it would be plus 10 degrees. I think that's how they do it. I don't know how they say it for inclination changes. I'm not sure what the proper terminology is. Oh man, I should have grabbed a drink instead of just going to the bathroom. It's okay. Let's let those brakes cool off and pulse them again. Down, let them dissipate the heat. And we'll nose down a little bit. Yeah, we're going to overfly the KSC, which is okay. We should have enough fuel to turn around as long as we don't overshoot it by half the frickin' planet. Can you invert thrusters in this game? Make braking thrusters? Um, if you can, I do not know about it. You can certainly put reverse thrusters on, but then you have to just put them to a custom action group where you shut your forward thrusters down. And at the same action group, you can. Yeah, we might have to investigate that. It's not a system I've ever used before, so I'm not sure. I think the KSC is directly below us now. Okay. Whoops, come on. We just got to keep pulsing. The thing is the jet engines only work in the thicker parts of the atmosphere. So even if we had a reverse thrust option on those engines, they won't work up here. They wouldn't be useful until you get below 20K. At this altitude, the only thing that really works is the air brakes and angling your vehicle properly. It's really atmospheric friction that's the only tool we have to slow down. Unless you put reverse engines on it. Nope, we're losing it. We're losing it. Lock. Come on, why are you doing this to me, girl? Okay. Recovered! That was a beautiful recovery, if I do say so myself. Which one? Green Hell or Alien Isolation? Everybody here wants Alien Isolation, Taz. You heard it. Luke, Bub, everybody here is asking Taz Jax the same question. Where's Alien Isolation? And I don't want to hear no shit about, oh, on Tuesday. You could just cut it into two different episodes. That's always an option. Shit. She is... I'm thinking that the front fins are the reason we're having such a problem with entry procedures. They make flight more stable, but they also make the entry a little bit more tricky because it wants to throw the nose up in the air constantly. Yeah, but one episode would be me just walking around the ship. You know, you could always do a montage when you have a lot of things to show in a short amount of time. Montage. Montage. Well, we're past the most dangerous part. That went better than I thought it would. We only almost lost control a couple times. It might be beneficial to scale these down a little bit. Get the smaller ones on there. Sort of. But now the question is going to be, can we turn around without killing ourselves? And the answer to that is no. Well, we could either use smaller fins in front, or the other possibility is to move them back. And this is why it sucks. It's all right. We're managing. And now, since we're losing control anyway, we might as well try to turn around. Oh my god, this stupid camera control. Oh. What was it? 6, 5. Okay, now can we just do a gentle turn towards the KSC? Let's find out. I wasn't going to try to toot my own horn at all, but that was a pretty slick recovery operation there. Alright, now straighten her out. And look at all that Delta V we got to get back to the KSC. I think this might be our most successful run yet. Even with all the screw-ups, we're getting better and better, so all this extra data is only helping. just want to... Yeah, I'm thinking smaller ailerons on the front, or smaller fins on the front might be the way to go for that. I mean, she has the maneuverability, though. I'd really hate to destroy that. And look at that. We have stable, level flight. Our acceleration and deceleration is easily manageable. Good job, guys. I love the fact the shields and phasers are for next week. Dude, I would love a what do you call it? How do you say this? A physics accurate battle space battle simulator. I think that would be really cool. And I mean, we are very slowly losing altitude, but that is A-okay. So this is where we are. If we can just get over this ocean, we have a shot at landing this. All the engines are on the same fuel source right now. So that's about how much we have left in every tank. They should be using fuel equivalently at this point. So 140, 140, whoops, 140, yeah. They should all be using the same fuel source. Why we're going so slow, though? SC too, distance to target. That would be super duper helpful. But that's something only PC players get. Bastards. But yeah, so if you look at the nerve engine, oh, we might have to do it in the VAB. Or in the space plane hangar, I mean. It's 2 episodes. Does that mean we get a 2-for-1, or do we got to wait for 2 whole Tuesdays to see it all? Aw, 2 whole Tuesdays. I guess it's worth it. Can I turn this off? No. Alright. Yeah, see, if I could get my entry process a lot better, we wouldn't have to turn around and go this whole way back. It does. And it's also a really bad idea to do Star Wars episodes every day for the month of May. The algorithm hates that. How bad's the height drop? I mean, we're stable. As long as we have the thrusters on at least a minimum, we're in stable flight. I'm not doing any control input right now. I'm just managing throttle, and I'm also learning that if I need to do a fine adjustment to my overall heading, it's way better for the plane if I just tilt the wings to the left and right instead of trying to use the yaw function. We do not have a hover mode, Taz. That would be cool, though. So, I mean, she's cruising stable, and we have plenty of fuel. We have 4,000 meters per second worth of fuel. So, I mean, we're coming up on the idea that fuel is going to be a problem, but I'm hoping that we can cover this distance before that happens. I mean, if we have to glide in for a landing at the KSC, I wouldn't be too upset about it. It won't be easy, but it'll be manageable, which reminds me, I'm really hoping that the landing gear function. It should be okay. But now the problem we might have... No, I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. So now see how it says heading 274? If I just tilt it a little bit to the left, 273, 272, I want to try to get to 268. 268 right there. So now we're on a heading of 268, and she's going to drift back to the right a little bit. but it's a real slow drift. And then I want to watch my altitude because I really don't want to sink below 1,000 meters. 1,000 meters gives us a lot of glide room. It's part of the PlayStation. They're still okay. We got Jeb and Bob or Bill, I forget. Bill. We got Jeb and Bill on board. So now that we're at 2K, I'm just going to angle that nose back up a little bit. Throttle up a little bit. Because I don't want to lose my surface velocity. And that acceleration is pretty manageable. We'll bounce between 2K and 4K until we get back. I think when we get a little closer, we'll drop down to closer to 2K or maybe even drop below 1K as far as altitude goes. Another thing that I really wish we had that we just don't have on console is an angle of approach to the runway. Because that would be another really handy tool to have. Because you want to keep your angle of approach at about 15 degrees until you get really close. So if you do have to do a water landing 75 meters per second, the cockpit survives. Depending on the angle, yes. But we're going to try to do better this time. If we have to do a water ditch, we're going to try to do better. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. But look at that profile. She's mean looking. But I do think we are approaching... Okay, so yeah, we're getting close. So I think what we'll do is we'll reduce throttle just a tiny bit. And we'll dip that nose down a tiny bit, just below the horizon. We'll pick up a little bit of speed, but I want to try to get to 2K or less. We can even throttle down to reduce the amount of velocity we actually acquire. Because I don't want to be going too much faster than we are now. And actually, I want to see something real fast. Triangle is the action menu. We know that. Custom. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so yeah, we have a better way to get to the brakes. That makes me feel way better. So now we're going to try and set our cruising altitude at about 1 kilometers. Yeah. And we just found out that we have a shortcut to the brakes group, so we don't have to worry about trying to get the cursor. Reducing fuel for what? What Treffiel? By the way, hey Trey, welcome in. And what do you mean reducing the fuel? We're doing great on fuel. The whole purpose of this mission is to test to see if we have a viable option as an as an Eve ascent vehicle, because our goal is to put Kerbals on Eve. But the problem is if we use a rocket system, rocket systems tend to be very tall. So if we drop a rocket on Eve, the problem becomes keeping it vertical while we're doing science and spacewalks. And then the other problem is we have to have a long ladder system to get the Kerbals from the top of the rocket down to the surface for science and external vehicular activities. So the idea became to use a space plane. So we have the SR-44 BlackStar, and we've been tweaking it for stable flight. Now, we do have a bigger ascent vehicle that attaches to the bottom of the BlackStar, which is a actually it's now a quad-engine rocket plane that can get us almost into Kerbin orbit. So I think if we tweak the ascent vehicle just a little bit, not yet. We haven't gotten far enough to worry about that just yet. Once we have a viable plane and we know for a fact it can fly, it can reach orbit and return safely, then the next thing we have to worry about is, can the ascent vehicle survive entry? And to test that out, what we're going to do is launch it from the Mooner base and throw it at Kerbin a couple times. You should make it as small as possible, even if it means Yeah, we're not bringing any actual science with us on this trip. All the science on Eve, all of the science that we can gather, can almost all be done robotically. This mission is a personal vendetta against Eve, because in 308 hours, Eve has been the frickin' white whale that I've been chasing. I have tried 14 different missions to Eve, and all have failed due to lack of Delta V. Well, one of them might have had the Delta V to actually get back out, but it kind of disintegrated on entry, so failure. But the BlackStar is the most promising. This is as close as we've gotten. You don't need a big fuselage. It adds weight, but it also generates a small amount of lift. Believe it. Yes. So, the theory that we're going on. So, here's the information that we've gathered on Eve. We know Eve's atmosphere is primarily comprised of carbon dioxide. We know that at surface level, Eve is about 4 times as dense as Kerbin. So, the idea of using a space plane and a rocket plane is 4 times as dense means twice as much lift. Yeah, this is 1/4 of the starting vehicle so far. But the dense atmosphere in Eve means more lift, but also more drag. Now, more lift, or the drag, we can easily compensate by ascending at a slower velocity. So as long as we ascend at about 180 to 220 meters per second, we can minimize the amount of drag that we feel on ascent. Oh, dude, Trev, I still love you, man. You still join in, you hit the like button, you leave comments, you're a superstar, bro. It means a lot to me. So, the idea is, the BlackStar itself, as you see it here, should be able to ascend the final ascent above... I have a request when you have time. What's up? Happy birthday, bro. My birthday... So, yeah, your birthday's February. I was going to say, my birthday's January, but that doesn't really have any effect. Man, we're making progress. I don't want to time warp too much because we're below 1K. I would hate to time warp us into the ground or the ocean at this point. So we have 2 stages currently. The first stage is designed to get us from the moon. I would like a Kerbal named after me. That's another feature that's not in the console version. You can only do that on the PC version. I can name a ship after you. Yep, you can only do that on PC. But guess what, Treff? Neener. PC guys don't have the Lunar Launch Complex. I can launch from the Lunar Launch Pad. Be jealous. I would be if I were you. Not really. PC has so many more other options available that it's like, oh, you can launch from the moon? Well, guess what? I can build stuff in space. I can put stuff together in space. I can spawn over the planet. Yeah, the PC version has way more options. Alright, Taz. We'll name a ship after you. Treff, I'll build... So, the next missions that we have to do... We have a bunch of missions to Eve that we have to do, because in order to gather the science, we're going to have to drop a whole bunch of probes with science attached. I'm thinking of doing a remote-controlled rover, too, so that way we can get biome-specific science. So we're going to have rovers on Eve. We need after Eve, we're going to set our sights on Moho. So we're going to have a lot of new vehicles coming out, a lot of opportunities to name everything. The only reason this got called the BlackStar is because I designed it after the SR-71 Blackbird, but it's not a Blackbird, it's a BlackStar. Yes, I've done flybys of Jules. You want me to launch yours into interstellar space? I can do that. That's not that difficult to do. God's Eye is working out, though. Yeah, we haven't checked on it in a while, but in all fairness, we keep reverting back to the spaceplane hangar, so, I mean, to be fair, not many days have passed since we launched it. Well, actually, more days have passed since we launched it, but it hasn't been hanging out there for actual very long of a time. I'll even put a monkey in it for you, Taz. We'll see how long the monkey can last. You guys should have been here during my first playthrough because I hit a glitch where a bunch of tourists were hanging out in the vehicle assembly bay. Like, they wouldn't leave after the mission was complete. So I loaded up a rocket with like 6 tourists and launched them into a space station out in the moon and left them there. Never brought them back. They didn't want to go home. We still got 2K meters per second. We're coming up on the target soon, because that island that you can see right here, that is not far from the KSC at all. That's the first island that we pass over. So we're right there on the money. We should start seeing the land coming into view. You can see it rendering right here. 62. I'd like to personally do Kerbal System Sun to keep the Kraken satisfied. It helps reduce the amount of glitches. The seismic bomb worked really well, though. It did. I was really happy with that. And we have to do it again, too. Hold on. I don't know if that mission has expired yet, though. Hold on. Yeah, we still have to do. We have to do another hammer mission on Duna. So we'll either have to readjust the current one that's around. I think it's around Ike. No. It's already readjusted on Duna, but I think we only have 1 or 2 stages left to throw at it. So we may end up having to do another one of those and start bombing Duna to get that science if it doesn't expire before we get there. I'm not going to accept any more of those contracts. They're not worth it. The amount of money we have to spend to set the mission up and then bomb the surface of it's just not worth the money. If it was $1 million contract, yes, the American way, if it doesn't work, bomb it. But it's expensive. It's super expensive. All right. Grab onto your elbows, boys. We are starting our final approach. We are going to reduce altitude. To below 300 meters. Look, we're not a weapons building company. Oh, and I came up with a name for our space company here. We're Apollo's Apollo's Aeronautics Space Science Exploration Service. So we're a bunch of asses here. That's one of the first games we're going to do once I get the PC, man. I already own it on PC. I'm excited to get back into it and play it. I'm sad that I never got to play it start to finish. That's not true, Treff. My headcanon is that during a global apocalyptic event that wiped out all life on the surface of Kerbin, the Kerbals were smart enough to build cities under the ocean, which is why they're green. They're semi-aquatic. And now that the surface is habitable again, we see grass and moss growing, but we don't see any living creatures because life hasn't returned to that level yet. So now, fearing another global catastrophe, the Kerbals have built space centers on the surface to explore the depths of space in hopes that another global catastrophe will not wipe out their civilization. Right, let's try to drop below 100 meters. If this succeeds, this will be my first successful landing back at the KSC with no damage. Knock on wood. But look how stable she is, Luke. Ah! Look how far we've come. Let's see how far we've come. Let's see how far we go. I believe it all is coming to the end. Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend. Let's see how far we've come. We're gonna get sued! Um, this is KSC Control calling BlackStar 1. You are on final approach. Call the ball, Jeb. This is Jebediah Kerman of the BlackStar. Calling the ball. They got chlorophyll to break down 6 carbon chains of phosphates into 3 or something. Yeah, that's how they can survive without food on long space missions. They just use sunlight. That's all they need. Come on, we're way off the runway. I was reading chat and didn't realize how far we had drifted over. Come on, baby girl. There you go. Trophy! We got the trophy! Oh, dude, console, I've said it a million times to people, console is the hardest way to play. It absolutely is the hardest way to play. And look at that. We still have 1,200 meters per second. Roaring applause. The crowd goes wild. But we're not going to save this because I don't want to spend the money to lose the lower stage. All right. So, Treff, you're about to see the lower stage here. Al, the lower stage. This is the entire thing on takeoff. Yeah. But the problem is most games nowadays, especially nowadays. Yeah, I think you can plug a mouse and keyboard into the PS5. I just don't own them. So this is... Whoops. Why did that do that? This is the entire thing on launch so far. And I'm thinking if we can squeeze just a few more meters per second of delta V into this bad boy, we just need a little bit more. I think if we could hit 8,000 meters per second of total delta V, this is ready for re-entry testing. Oh yeah, she's a monster. He said same. Yep, she's a big old monstrous one. But the question shall become, where can we squeeze in the delta V? So at current level, hold on, let's fix the staging so we get accurate numbers. This comes down here. This goes down here. Can I deactivate the staging now that I'm in the VAB? There. So the BlackStar, smaller front ailerons, yeah. Well, I don't know if we want it. Yeah, for the entry process, you're not wrong. All right, so let's do that first before I forget. A little bit smaller. Yes, we don't need the monopropellant. In fact, we can... Bye-bye! Are you playing... Or Taz, before you go, are we playing anything today? I know you're running short on space, so if you don't want to play anything, I don't blame you. So, what I want to try to do is first save. I want to get rid of this. And add that. Taz, if you don't answer me, I'm going to call you. Where's the big one? Oh, Treff. Got it. Yep. See you later, Treff. I appreciate it. You've got some room. All right. Now the question is, are we playing Faz? Fuel tanks. Wait, that's engines. I need fuel tanks. Or are we playing that one game whose name escapes me at the moment? I mean, is it worth doing all this, though? Because, I mean, we know... this is the hard part. We know that the other version that we just flew, we know it works well. I think it's worth trying. We need to squeeze in just a tiny bit more Delta V. Palia. Yeah, I'm going to keep forgetting that, and I don't know why. I kind of want to try this. I so kind of want to try it. And then we can drain the monoprop out of that. What did that do for our Delta V numbers, though? I don't remember what it was before. I forgot. All right. That... We can do this. So what's our numbers right now? How much... Our thrust to weight ratio is currently 1.12, so we can dab in some fuel tanks in here. Somewhere, somehow. We could put in some drop tanks to increase the amount of time. Let's save this. Let's change this to the BlackStar 5. Let's go to coupling. Put that there. And then fuel tanks. What do we have? Let's see if we can do better. Yeah, you're right. We did want to see if we can't core stage. Alright. That's probably too big. Yeah, that'll drag. We don't want that big. That's what she said. Come on, stop doing this to me. Alright, let's watch these numbers now. We can put this up here. So that's, as long as we don't drop below a 0.5, we should be solid. Wait, which one did I use? This one? No. This one? Yes. What do we got? There we go. Maybe one more on front. And then we probably want to do... Oh, come on. Stop messing with me here. All right. Probably do... Do that. Laser! We're doing pretty... Dude, we're on cloud 9 today. Everything is finally starting to work without me having to scream at it. So we're doing pretty all right. No, I don't like that. Yeah, Luke, that's another thing we can do. I was thinking about adding drop tanks to the port and starboard boosters as well. Because, I mean, we still have quite a bit of wiggle room on the thrust-to-weight ratio. We are sciencing up a craft that we're hoping will get us to and from Eve. Because we're having a hard time coming up with, the heck? What the heck? Can you twin the engine? What do you mean twin the engine? What are you referring to? Why am I not seeing this? I think the game's starting to have a hard time. All right. I guess the back doesn't matter as much. All right, let's... Which fuel tanks did we put on here? Is it this one? No. 2 engines. We don't need any more engines though. That's why I'm confused. I'm confused as to what we're adding engines to and what for. Wait, that's liquid fuel. This one? Nope. Where is this engine that I used? Nope. 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 Which one of these fuel tanks did I use? Was it this one? Nope. This one? What? What in the brass monkey is going on here? Which one did I use? You know what? I'm doing this wrong. X200. Which one of these is the X200? X232. This one? No. Oh, this one. Okay. So what did that do? I mean, I'm happy with those numbers. So now we just need to probably strut this up just a little bit. And then... Yes. You said it right as I was doing it, Luke. Great minds. Great minds. Okay. There we go. Alright, now, last thing I wanted to do. Go into coupling. Before we screw it up. Too tiny. Just right. Okay. So now, on the staging menu, we fire all four engines in the rear. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we launch the center staging apparatus. You're making a spaceship on a plane that will be flying through space. So the idea is this lower stage, so all this right here, is going to get this into space. That's the idea. So eventually what we're going to do is take this whole apparatus to Eve, which is the second planet closest to the sun in the Kerbal system. If we can land this safely on Eve, we can put Kerbals on Eve, we can do science, we can plant a flag, we can have a tea party, all the cool Kerbal stuff. And then this big monstrosity has to get this little plane high enough into the atmosphere. Star Trek. I think Star Trek was a little bit smarter than I am. Stabilizers. Yes, stabilizers. Let's take this out and put stabilizer in. Okay. And then auto strut and balance. Okay. Save. Alright, now staging wise, anyway, what I was doing, staging. So, engines fire. Psh! Whoa, the humanity! Where's this bottom stage? This bottom stage has to go off down here. Once we drop the drop tank, we're gonna hope that it doesn't rip off our rear, lower stabilizer. And then we continue flying. Once we're done flying and we exhaust all the fuel in this thing, this decoupler should shoot this backwards. And actually, yeah. Alright. Wait, was crossfeed on? Please tell me crossfeed was on. I guess it doesn't have to be. Enable crossfeed. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna exhaust the fuel in this tank first, and it should happen rather quickly. We drop this tank. When all the fuel is exhausted in the rest of it, we decouple this and fire these engines at the same time. So this decoupler and these engines turn on. Once the ship is safely at a safe distance, then we proceed to decouple this one, which should be underneath. Yes, okay. By the way, the wheels are in the ground. Yep, we're going to fix that in just a second. You know what? We'll fix it right now. And then come on, give me, thank you. Okay. Oh. There we go. All right, let's see what she does. Staging looks good. Thrust to weight ratio is good. Aerodynamics is good. Although we did not check our aerodynamic and thrust overlays after we increased the amount of fuel in the BlackStar, but we're gonna go ahead and forget about that. Minor details. I'm sure it won't have any effect on how the ship flies. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. SAS. Oh, not RCS. SAS. Engage. Let's change this to that. All right. Why are we floating sideways when the brakes are on? That's weird, right? That's weird, right? That's weird, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, magic for sure. That's just really weird. That might mean something's not balanced right? Caution to the wind, I say. Caution to the wind. Hi-ho, Silver. Away! Come on, girl. Why are we listing to the left all of a sudden? No, 40 minutes not bad. That was my fault. That was my fault. Mulligan. 100% mulligan. And you might be right. Laser might have a point. We might want to add some landing gear to it. Maybe we're too heavy for the landing gear. Maybe. All right, SAS. All right, so more landing gear then, huh? Someone mentioned that. I remember hearing that somewhere in the chat. Large landing gear. Mulligan. 100% mulligan. We want to turn on symmetry. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. You had a good idea, man. A good idea is a good idea. Can't take that away from you. All right. All right, let's see. I also don't know why it drops like that. Like, should be good. Laser is the gold star student for the day. You should all be more like Laser. No, vertical launch won't work. Our thrust to weight ratio is not good enough for that. This only works as a space plane. This only works because we generate lift. If we were to put this vertical, it would fall straight down. Come on, girl. Get it up. The top thruster's on the wrong way. What do you mean? What do you mean it's on the wrong way? It's pointing the right direction. Oh, you're right. That could be some of the problems we're having. There we go. All right, now climb, baby, climb. Oh. I just noticed something else too. This decoupler won't work. That's a problem. We put it behind the front support structures. That's a problem. I'm going to have to take that decoupler out of commission before we decouple it. I don't think it's going to do what we want it to do. Drats! Although I am curious to see how that plays out. I kind of want to just see what it does. It's performing exactly as it needs to so far. That's why you have children. Yeah, that did everything we needed it to do. And we still have some fuel left. What are we looking at? That's empty. I mean, it's empty? There we go. Now it's empty. All right, so let's see what this separation does. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. We need to move. We need to move that stack back a little ways. Oh, dude, this game is gorgeous. You would never guess that some of the oldest games on the market are just designed to be sexy. And then we could also... Wait, which one was it? 6? I thought we... We might have to check our custom action groups for that. So let's get the computer involved in this. Try to optimize our fuel output. That's what I'm saying. Like, all the old games that are like 10 years old and stuff, they have some of the best gameplay and graphics around. Like, this is Kerbal. Kerbal is an old game when you think about the life cycle of a game. And we still have we are in orbit. We're almost in a stable orbit, and we almost have 3,000 meters per second of fuel. We could probably, I would almost say we could cut some of our oxidizer down. Whoops. We could probably cut every tank to 60 to 70% oxidizer. Maybe even down to 50%. Because the oxidizer is only useful for these engines. Well, the problem is during the EVE ascent, those engines are going to be pivotal. And we're going to need the oxidizer for that. So it might not be wise to cut the oxidizer just yet. I think if we were going to take this on a Lathe mission, we could cut the oxidizer 50%. But for an EVE mission or a Duna mission, we're probably going to want to stay up on the oxidizer. Probably do this burn at about 1:32. And the good thing is this engine provides electricity. So yeah, I think the last couple of streams worth of tinkering, I'm confident that we have everything we need in place. The next phase is going to be launching the entire structure from the Mun and seeing exactly how it handles hitting an atmosphere. Because, like I've been saying, the whole reason we've been doing all these test missions is because if anything that we do does not work on Kerbin, it's not going to work on Eve. If it works on Kerbin, then there's a high chance... No, it won't matter. I mean, I still will. I'll 100% do everything in orbit. We already have... Hold on. Let me finish this burn and I'll show you what we have. Because we have a space station in orbit around Eve, collecting science and keeping some of my Kerbals gainfully employed. That's where Valentina is right now. The only three Kerbals we have sitting at home are Bill, Bob, and Jebediah at the moment. Let me just get a stable orbit, and then we'll take a tour. Yeah, it might be worth exploring. I want to see what it does, though. Because if we hit the atmosphere and she performs perfect, then we're pretty much ready to start adding transfer boosters to it. And for the transfer booster, I'm thinking maybe just a large mammoth engine. We don't need to go much higher than that. So yeah, we have a little over 2,500 meters per second left after a Kerbal ascent. So a Kerbal ascent should take about 3,500 meters per second. So let's say 35, 45, 55 gives us a total of about 6,000 meters per second. And out of 6,000-ish, we used up about half. So I don't think we're quite to an Eve ascent number yet, but we're right there. We are so close. Okay. Now, whoops. So, where's my Eve? Come on, there we go. So yeah, we have the God's Eye station laser. She's waiting on Eve. So the idea is going to be that once we get all this situated, we're going to send this entire craft to Eve and see if we can't land, plant a flag, and return safely. So yeah, they're plugging away at science. Like, look, it hasn't even been a full day since we launched this, actually. But all these Kerbals that we have, so on board this, we had some science that we did. We have power, we have relay stations, we have multiple docking ports, and it's powered by 5 nuclear engines. Altogether, she holds 5,516 meters per second of delta V remaining. But we orchestrated the large solar panels. Yes, God's Eye was built for a purpose, and she is doing it well. We situated the solar panels in the X fashion, so that way no matter... Nope, they survive on photosynthesis. As long as we photosynthesize them, they do alright. But no matter what angle it is at the sun, it should always have the ability to charge the solar panels. She's a little low on monoprop. I don't know when we used that monoprop, though. I don't remember actually using monoprop on this. But she's used up some of it for some reason. Oh, I remember now, because remember when we launched it, we accidentally misstaged it, and we had that death spiral. We used the monoprop to correct the death spiral. That's what happened. But you can see Eve back there in the background. That's the target. Here, we'll get a closer look. That's our target. Hopefully we can find a flat place to land with a nice long runway. Oh yeah. There's a mod on the PC that you can get that actually adds subsidies like food and water. Like you actually have to plan the mission properly because you can starve the Kerbals out. Oh yeah, that's the lander that we left in orbit. And it's going to probably stay in orbit forever because it's out of fuel. So yeah, I'm thinking if we can squeeze just a tiny bit more Delta V into it, just a small amount, it's fun. There's a mod pack that I really want to play when I do get a PC called RP1. And it turns Kerbal into a true roleplay experience. Like, it's real, way more realistic. The progression is fixed. I mean, everything about it is more attuned to a real-life space simulator than... Alright, first things first. We need to figure out where our action groups are. So, number 6 is our air brakes. Or no... Number 6 changes the engines from air breathing to whatchamacallit. Oh, I never set them back up. Okay, that's why we're having trouble. So for number 5, number 5 should switch the engines over. Oh, wait. Benji wants to play Green Hell? So you have to make everything on Kerbal, or on Kerbin, and you have to transfer it to Eve. Alright. The only non-planetary launch pad that we have access to at the moment is the moon. We do have a base on the moon that we can launch things from, which is super helpful. You can see it right here. It's super helpful because you don't have to worry about Kerbin's atmosphere. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this home and call it a day. We've done a lot of progress today. And then we're going to go record some more Green Hell. If you guys are interested in survival games at all, I think, Taz, did you already start posting our Green Hells? I haven't started posting them yet. I want to get through... I only have 1 or 2 more of Until Dawn, and I'm coming up on the end of my... Stray and the end of Still Wakes the Deep. I'm trying to finish those out before I get into posting more. Yeah, so if you guys want to see some of our Green Hell playthrough before it's posted on mine, you can see the multiplayer Green Hell story mode over at TazJax's channel. And I think if we did play Ark. Oh, Ark is a great game. I have over 1,000 hours in Ark. The problem we had with Ark, Laser, is that there's 3 of us that play together quite a bit. It's me, TazJax, and Benji. And we have problems finding overlapping time frames to play games in that are consistent. So we ended up all playing Ark together, but almost never at the same time. Come back here. Yeah, we play. I've played a lot of Ark, Survival Evolved, and Survival Ascended. I loved those games. We've played the Long Dark on the channel. I might do another Long Dark playthrough. I've played it solo. I've played a lot of Kerbal, or not Kerbal. I played a lot of Kerbal, yes, but I have played a lot of Ark solo. Not on the channel though, because when I played Ark solo was a bunch of years ago when I was on Facebook Live instead of YouTube, and Facebook changed their procedures, I guess, and they deleted everything that wasn't specifically saved. So if you had a live stream, like right now, once I turn the live stream off, you can always go back and watch it. The VODs are saved in YouTube automatically. Yeah, Facebook used to do that, and then they suddenly one day said, "Oh, by the way, guys, we're not doing this anymore." And I had thousands of hours of games, and I was like, I had no storage space. So if I wanted to save all of those games, I would have to download them, and then just turn around and re-upload them again. And I'm like, I'm not doing that for 188 episodes at 3 to 5 hours a piece. There's no way I'm doing that. That would have taken a substantial amount of time. So a lot of my old gameage from 5 years ago got lost, which is why we switched over to YouTube. All hail YouTube. All hail YouTube. I love my YouTube overlords. They're the greatest. Okay. So, now, number 6. Is that right? Okay. And then number 3. Yep, alright, so we're good now. Did I add anything else? Oh, I did. That's why it's so shaky. Okay. That's strutted. That's not strutted. I didn't check my struts. Everything should be strutted up now. By the way. But no, Laser, if you ever get really bored, feel free to check out the playlists. I've been doing much better at life about keeping my playlists organized. So typically, I'm pretty sure everything is pretty organized by the end of every day. Something's not right. She is listing hard. Why are all these struts by Theory of a Dead Man? Good song. Which Theory of a Dead Man? I'm trying to think. I know that band. What song? I'm trying to think of what song you're talking about. I am so freaking bored. Nothing to do today. Oh, by the way, got it. Yeah, I'm slow. My brain is smooth. All right, yeah. Before, I need to make a note in my notepad over here. And before the next launch, I need to triple check everything's auto strutted and stabilized. Because we are getting a little bit of list left and right. Look at that profile, though. I know those wings being tilted down is probably not the best way, but looks so sexy. So let's try to remember this. We're hitting the atmosphere at 2,300 kilometers a second. Yo, are you going to put a face cam someday? Maybe. If I get a PC, maybe. I'm not the biggest fan of face cams during gameplay, but what I do want to do is have a beginning intro screen where we can sit down and have coffee and chat for a few minutes before the game starts, and I'll do a face cam for that one, and as well as break screens, and you could tilt the front wings down. Maybe. We can try it and see if it affects stability. Should we continue on mine, or should we have Benji start one so he's not far behind? I'm down either way. I'm 100% down either way. That way, Ben can we can gather all the stuff that we don't have with Ben. Like he can experience the struggle of finding the damn generators or the damn generator. I probably won't record until we figure out that desync issue though, because that's really upsetting me in that game is the desync. Everything about that game, I love it. And man, I died 3 times yesterday, not because the game got me, but because we desynced once and I lost everything. That's just not right. Now all we got to do is slow down and not explode. And we know once we get into the atmosphere, yeah, we're going over the KSC right now, so we'll have to turn around again. That's something that I got to work on. First chapter is free. Eventually, right now the biggest thing is I game on a budget. So I don't typically get new games very often. Like Taz got a little mad at me because he wants to get. We started a game called House of Ashes, and we got a little over halfway through, and the PlayStation Store decided it wasn't going to be free no more. And it's a 6-hour game, start to finish, and they want like $35 for it or something. And I'm like, that's not worth a 6-hour game. Like, the game is great, don't get me wrong, it's just not worth 35 freaking dollars. And then he sent me the money for it, but I owed money to my Cash App at the time, so that went to pay that back. And I just December and January are my most expensive months to just live, because we have 4 kids, and out of the 4 kids, we have my birthday's January 18th. My middle child, my 9-year-old now, his birthday is December 29th. And then my youngest son, his birthday is January 25th. So in the span of 30 days, we have Christmas, New Year's, and 3 birthdays. So December and January, I'm usually more broke than I usually am. Just like there's another game that just came out the other day called Cairn, Kern. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Kiern, but it's a mountain climbing survival game, and that's a $30 game, and that's on my wish list right now. But come here April or May when we get taxes back, my wife is really into the idea of getting a PC. She wants a PC more than I do. Like, I want one really bad, but she's juggling bills and crunching numbers like we're getting a PC. And I'm not going to stop her. I mean, I want a PC too. So let's do that. Yeah, I think adding that extra fuel tank and that extra little bit of length took away a little bit of our stability that we had previously. Not much. Not much. Not enough to freak out over. But definitely a noticeable difference. And the reason I'm doing this particular part of this mission is because once if we can get everything situated perfectly and we lift off of Eve, the next challenge is going to be getting from Eve to Kerbin. So having me practice these entry procedures is going to be super beneficial for that, because we're going to be cutting the Delta V numbers really tight. So I don't think we're going to have the budget to do a full slowdown and a capture orbit. So being able to hit the atmosphere, oh yeah, no, I don't control what my wife does, man. If she wants to spend the money on a PC, I told her it's her money, it's her taxes. She worked her butt off for it. If that's what she wants to do, I'm not going to stop her. I'm not even going to try to talk her out of it. Especially considering once I do end up getting a PC, the quality of content that I'll be able to provide will increase dramatically. Because I'll be able to do a lot more editing, a lot more animation, a lot more for you guys as viewers. And then once I do have that ability, one of the things we're going to add to the channel is original programming. We're going to start doing cartoons again. I'm excited about that. And then if I can practice and get good enough, we're going to do anime-style feature-length movies and seasonal shows and stuff that we can throw in the stream. So if I need to go to the bathroom or take a 10, 20-minute break, we can put the newest episode up. You guys can watch an episode of whatever we're working on while we wait for the stream to kick back off. And then everything will be available later on the playlists. It's going to be a great time. There's big things coming to the stream. We just got to be patient and get to it. You know, we're not bad. Like, I'm okay with the amount of heating that we're getting, but we are not slowing down very fast. I don't think we're slowing down fast enough. Send it straight down. Nosedive. I mean, it's not a bad idea, Luke. I'm just not sure how to accomplish it without affecting the aerodynamics. Look at all those hot dogs everywhere. Yeah, Jeb and Bill are, they're a little warm right now. I think we should be okay, though. We're below 2,000 meters per second. We just got to burn off the speed and we'll be okay. And we also have to not run out of electric charge. That would be swell. No, solar panels won't do us no good. It's just because we're in the dark and we're not running our engine. See? No need to worry. Come on, stop being weird on me, girl. I know you can fly. We all know you can fly. No. Oh, it's... I see what's happening. Come on, girlie. Come on. Pull that nose up. Alert, terrain. Alert, terrain. Come on. You're a good girl. Do it for me. That's it. Come on, Betsy. I forgot what I called you earlier. Every time I talk to this damn ship, it has a different name. I think it's Lucille. Come on. Can you just fly flat, please? There we go. She's starting to straighten out a little bit. I think it's because we're in the thicker part of the atmosphere now. Now she's actually getting a little bit of aerodynamic lift. Alright. Now the question is can I check my map without you crashing? Come on, baby. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. Maybe that's what I should name this instead of Lucille or Betsy. We'll name her Barbie. Because then I can sing to it. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Adding those extra fuel tanks messed up the aerodynamics a little bit. Or maybe it's because they weren't strutted properly. I don't know, but she is not happy with me. She does not want to straighten out. What if I check something real quick? Yeah, it's strutted now. Yeah, if I do anything, she just wants to nosedive. I also just noticed we don't have the lower fin. I don't know when we lost that, but that could be some of the issue we're having. It's possible we lost it during the separation phase earlier, if we had it in the first place, because I honestly don't remember if it was on there when we took off. Alright. Okay. With the extra tanks, you may have needed larger front wings. Yeah, maybe. But honestly, the stability feels like it's left and right. Oh, we never fixed this. See? One side was roll and one side, this is, I just want... So these need to be just for pitch. This needs to be just for roll. We never fixed that. Having those dedicated helps stabilize movement just a tiny bit. Alright, where am I on the map? Because I'm not going to try to make it back to the KSC. Because I'm pretty sure we're on the other side of the world now. Yeah. We're not going to make it back. So... I mean, we do have 14,000 meters per second. Yeah. Who messaging me? Oh, my wife. Someone's in trouble at work. Sorry, guys, there's tea to spill, and I get my drama from my wife's work. So, yeah, I'm 100% confident that we are on the right path with everything. We just got to remember to update all of our aileron settings on the next one. We need to investigate where the lower fin went, because I don't remember if we launched with it. If we didn't launch with it, I need to add one. If we did launch with it, then that means that we lost it during the separation phase, and we need to investigate how and why. Where are you, Kerbal, next? What? Oh, when are you, Kerbal, next? I'm probably gonna shoot for maybe Wednesday morning, but Wednesday mornings are a tough one for me to accomplish because I work Wednesday night, so I gotta sleep in the morning before the kids get home from school. Once the kids get home from school, I don't get to sleep. So the next for sure Kerbal stream will probably be Sunday, either Saturday or Sunday. One of those days is going to be Cyberpunk, though, because I got to get through the Cyberpunk story. I got to finish that story out. Such a good game. I love that game. I'm so mad that I waited this long to play it. But the BlackStar I would classify as a success. Every change we've made to it has increased its capabilities 100-fold. We just got to work on a little bit of stability. I want to keep that nose up. As long as she accelerates, the stability issues go away. If you accelerate to a direction, like if you get her going on the right coordinates and accelerate, she's 100% good. As long as that nose stays above the horizon. There we go. There you go. There you go, Barbie. Come on. Let's go party. Yeah, during acceleration, she's straight as an arrow. It's stable flight that she's having trouble with now. But I think it's because we added fuel. It messed with her aerodynamics, her weights and stuff. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it back to the KSC. I could also disable engine gimbaling and see if that helps the cause any. You know what? I'm curious. Let's try that. Nope. I think it made it worse. Well, now we know. What's the authority limiter at? 60%, 60%. Did I ever change the authority limiter on these? No, that's where our problem is. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. There we be. There was our problem in stability. That was it, right there, I promise it. The front nose cone never got adjusted for proper flight. Hold on a second. Yeah, we can land here, Luke. Well, that did a lot of it. That did help. She was trying to control the yaw and everything from the nose, and we can't have that. All right. So yeah, once we get this back in the VAB, next time we play, we'll go through, we'll triple check all of our staging, we'll triple check all of our struts, all of our rigid attachments. We will readjust our control surfaces. We will readjust the decoupler on the lower stage. Maybe investigate and see if we can't add any more fuel somewhere on board, because we still have a little bit of thrust to weight ratio to play with. Why are we... Why? Come on. Come on, why are we stalling? Yeah, as soon as I get done with this, I'll write everything down in my notes over here. Come on, straighten out. Ugh. I'm almost wondering if maybe it would be a better idea to get rid of some of the fuel that we added, because the stability may become a problem. Well, she's good as long as the control input is okay. Nope, it's not gonna work. Damn it. Alright, guys. This is where, it's exactly why a keyboard would be better, because having to fucking... Yeah, if I would have been able to do all of those things without having to take away from the damn controls, we'd have been okay. But this is where we're going to pick it up next time. Maybe instead of doing... Oh, wait, hold on. This is actually a good opportunity. Yeah, so that tail fin just never got re-added when we reverted back. So that lower tail fin, there might not be enough room for it in this configuration, though. Maybe if we do a small one, might work. But that tall one that we did have won't work on this setup. So, we'll leave it there, though. I added it back into this one, though. Now, what we might have to do, if we get everything else 100% situated, what we might have to do is add inflatable heat shields down the center and at the nose. So that way, if it can't handle atmospheric entry because of heating, those inflatable heat shields might just be the key to it all. We will see, though. So thanks, guys, for dropping in. I'm going to go record some Green Hell. What did we get on this one? I mean, we hit 4-hour stream, so we did pretty good. We've made a ton of progress. We've made a ton of progress. We are getting farther and farther every time. It might take another stream or 2, maybe 3, before we send this to Eve. Because once we get every other problem figured out, we have to figure out how we're going to get a transfer booster on it. But that is another problem for another day. See you on the flip side, Luke. Appreciate all your help in this endeavor. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. I really, really kind of want to see this hit the atmosphere before we're done. I'm just morbidly curious to find out what it would do. I love you more, Pookie Bear. I just want to see this hit the atmosphere before we shut it down. I want to see what it'll do. Because I have no problem believing that it'll disintegrate. I don't think this is going to handle atmospheric entry in its current configuration on its own with nothing else. It's just too big and heavy. Even without fuel, there's no way that it does well. All right. Yeah, it's going to explode already. So we're probably going to have to investigate some heat shielding. Oh well. Well, take it easy, guys.